And as we covered, President Trump was in North Carolina today accepting his party's nomination for a second term. We heard from North Carolina voters earlier in the show, but we wanted to take a closer look in particular at a critical corner of this swing state in Robeson County. It's the poorest and most diverse county in North Carolina and home to the Lumbee tribe of Native Americans. For decades, they voted reliably for Democrats, but 4 years ago, they swung for Trump. Now they are gripped by the pandemic and a failing economy. So our Devin Dwyer went there to see where they stand now politically.
Election season in southeast North Carolina looking anything but normal.
How bad is it?
It's bad. It's really bad.
The largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi, with its growing political sway, now consumed by the fight against COVID-19.
Deaths are high as well.
When we visited late last month, test kits purchased by the Lumbee were in short supply, along with financial aid from the federal government, which is contingent on federal recognition they don't have.
And what people don't understand is that with federal recognition comes health care, comes free education, and those are the things that we are in need of right now.
While the Lumbee have called this land home for centuries, the government has denied their claims of tribal identity and sovereignty, excluding them from legal status and federal benefits. Well, Congress passed $8 billion for tribal COVID relief. The Lumbee did not get 1 cent. With help from global charities, the tribe is testing, feeding, and educating as many of its 55,000 members as it can.
We have corn,
Look at those beautiful
tomatoes,
handing out fresh produce, PPE, and teaching supplies. Nearly half of homes in the county don't have high-speed internet.
The basic necessities that we need to do to
exercise. Is important to us.
physical activity.
Oh, wow.
Basketball
Even
and
this is gym class in the back,
Yes,
too.
yes.
The Lumbee take pride in self-reliance, at once independent and patriotic.
This is our country too, and we're going to defend it because it's our country, it's our land.
Tribal Chairman Harvey Godwin says many are frustrated with the long-running battle with Washington.
Do you feel like Donald Trump has delivered?
We don't have federal recognition. And through this pandemic, with the challenges that we're talking about, as he delivered for America, I can only speak for the Lumbee. But right now, we're struggling.
The community is still recovering from Hurricane Matthew in 2016, when catastrophic flooding devastated families and breached a dam on the tribe's sacred lake. FEMA recently completed repairs to the dam, but tribal leaders are still negotiating the bill.
Amidst our powwows, all our powwows are held out here. These no prayers. Our elders come here and pray for the well-being of the people 4 times a year.
So it's a sign of hope that this is back.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Godwin credits the state's bipartisan congressional delegation with seeing the project through, a sign, he says, the Lumbee are emerging as a political force. After decades of voting reliably for Democrats, in 2016, the Lumbee broke big for Donald Trump. And last fall, in a special congressional election here, many backed the Republican candidate.
This is about personalities. People are fed up, and they want a government that works.
Joshua Malcolm is a former state election official and now Chief Justice of the Tribal Supreme Court.
Where people are moving now are more to unaffiliated. Some people call them unregistered. You can call them what you want to, but they're unaffiliated. And I think, quite candidly, what that's all about is people are dissatisfied on both sides.
The tribe's home in Robeson County is one of the most diverse rural counties in the country, where minorities make up the majority. 42% identify as Native American. Registered Democrats outnumber Republicans by 4 to 1, but those unaffiliated voters make up nearly a third.
And now we are a swing tribe too, which I think is good for all Indian country, for us to be this way.
But to have influence, the Lumbee need to turn out. Few vote by mail, and by one estimate, just 20% of eligible Lumbee voters are registered. Donna Siemens is a nonpartisan voting rights advocate helping the Lumbee.
On reservations, the way things work is word of mouth. If you want people to know stuff, you have to be on the ground to let people know things are happening.
The pandemic promises to make that person-to-person work of getting Lumbee to the polls even harder.
COVID is really muddying the waters, but we're resilient people.
Lumbee recording artist Alexis Rayanna Jones, a former contestant on American Idol, is among the tribe's young people working to boost voter registration.
Being an indigenous person and living in the white man's world, as indigenous people, it's hard to really get our story out there because people tend to forget who we are as a people and who we are as a race.
Across the county at election headquarters, officials are scrambling too.
And by the time the election rolls around, I'm sure we'll be busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest.
Tina Bledsoe has been running elections in Robeson County for more than 25 years. Her team is still sourcing PPE for poll workers and new voting booths to help keep people more than 6 feet apart.
How important is it ahead of November to get it right?
It's crucial. As you know, we'll be in the spotlight.
The Lumbee will be in the center of that spotlight, with their federal recognition still hanging in the balance. In a close presidential race in North Carolina, they could help decide whether the state goes red or blue. Tribal Councilman Jared Lowry says President Trump has a good shot.
A lot of Lumbees gravitate towards somebody who he speaks a little different. He's not a politician, and you get the understanding that if he says something, he kind of means it, and he's very different.
I cannot speak for all my Lumbee people, but to hear the things that this man has said and his viewpoints on Indigenous people, on women, on the LGBTQIAP community, it's kind of hard to really agree with some of his views. The candidates that we have right now and the caliber of candidates that we have right now is frustrating, to say the least.
That frustration has political analysts watching the Lumbee as a wild card in November's election, as tribal leaders tell their people that everything is on the line.
How we're going to go forward as a people, how we're going to go forward with social injustice, with the pandemic, with health, with the economy, rebounding it, with small business, everything has been affected by what we're going through now, and everything's on the line.
For ABC News Live, I'm Devin Dwyer in Robeson County, North Carolina.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.